Beloved hearts gathered in expectation, hear these words not as ordinary sound, but as a stirring of purpose within the inner chambers of the soul. There is a summons that travels across generations, crossing time and circumstance, calling not the many who are comfortable, but the few who are willing. This call is not shaped by human approval, nor measured by earthly titles, but sealed by divine intention. Long before breath entered the lungs, before days were counted and seasons named, a choice was made, and that choice rests upon the one who dares to listen. Scripture reminds us that before formation in the womb, there was knowing, and before birth, there was setting apart. Jeremiah 1:5. This is not a distant idea, but a present reality, alive and active even now. To be chosen is not a declaration of ease, it is an invitation into responsibility. Many desire the crown, but few understand the weight it carries. From now on, the duty entrusted is not merely survival or success as the world defines it, but alignment with divine order. The duty is sacred, demanding faith when sight fails and obedience when understanding is incomplete. As written, trust is required not in personal insight, but in the one who directs paths beyond human logic. Proverbs 3:5-6. This duty reshapes priorities, reorders desires, and refines the heart through both abundance and lack. Richness, as revealed through faith, has never been limited to silver or gold. It flows first from the unseen realm, taking form in peace that surpasses understanding, Philippians 4:7, in wisdom that outlasts riches, Proverbs 8:11, and in favor that no earthly system can revoke. True richness begins when the soul recognizes its source and refuses to bow to fear. Those who are chosen are taught early that provision does not come by striving alone, but by seeking first the kingdom and its righteousness, trusting that all other necessities will follow in their appointed time, Matthew 6:33. There is a divine pattern revealed across sacred writings. Those called are often led through wilderness before inheritance. This is not punishment or preparation. In the wilderness, distractions are stripped away and dependence is restored. Daily provision teaches humility, and delayed fulfillment builds endurance. As it is written, humanity does not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds from the mouth of the Almighty, Deuteronomy 8:3. The chosen one learns that obedience is nourishment and faith is sustenance. From now on, duty requires discernment. Not every open door is an invitation, and not every closed door is rejection. The Spirit is trained to test what is presented, holding fast to what is good. 1 Thessalonians 5:21. This discernment protects the promise from premature exposure and guards the heart from counterfeit rewards. Richness forever is not achieved through haste, but through patience, as the promise is inherited by those who walk in faith and endurance. Hebrews 6:12. There will be moments when the chosen one feels alone, misunderstood, or delayed. Yet these moments are not signs of abandonment. Even when paths seem hidden, guidance remains constant. The promise stands firm that though one may walk through valleys of shadow, there is no need to fear, for presence and protection do not waver. Psalm 23:4. This assurance is the anchor of the soul, steady and secure, holding fast through every storm. Hebrews 6:19. Richness forever also demands stewardship. What is given is not owned, but entrusted. Time, influence, resources, and voice are placed in the hands of the chosen, not for self-exaltation, but for service. Scripture teaches that whoever is faithful with little will be faithful with much. Luke 16:10. Expansion follows integrity. Increase follows obedience. The duty is to multiply what has been placed in one's care, not bury it in fear or misuse it for selfish gain. The chosen one must also understand that opposition often confirms assignment. Resistance is not evidence of failure, but frequently a sign of impact. As iron sharpens iron, adversity sharpens purpose. Proverbs 2:17. Through trials, character is formed, and through perseverance, hope is refined. Romans 5:3-4. Richness that lasts forever is built on a foundation that has been tested and proven. There is a calling to walk differently, to speak with grace, to act with compassion, and to stand firm in truth. The light entrusted is not meant to be hidden, but placed where it can illuminate darkness. Matthew 5:14-16. This light is not self-generated. It is reflected obedience, shining through humility. The chosen one understands that greatness is expressed through service and authority is exercised through love. From now on, duty includes waiting when others rush, giving when others hoard, forgiving when others retaliate, and believing when circumstances contradict the promise. Faith is the substance of what is hoped for and the evidence of what is not seen. Hebrews 11:1. This faith moves mountains not by force, but by alignment. Richness forever flows where faith remains rooted. The chosen one is reminded that seasons change, but purpose does not. There is a time to sow and a time to reap. Ecclesiastes 3:1-2. Those who sow in tears will reap with songs of joy. Psalm 126:5. Every act of obedience is a seed placed into eternal soil, and none are wasted. Even when results are unseen, heaven records every faithful step. There is also a call to renewal of the mind. Transformation begins within, as thoughts are reshaped to align with divine truth. Romans 12:2. Old limitations are broken, and new vision emerges. Richness forever begins when identity is no longer shaped by past failures or present fears, but by the unchanging promise spoken over the chosen. Strength is renewed for those who await, rising above weariness with wings like eagles. Isaiah 40:31. This strength is not loud, but enduring. It carries the chosen through long nights and early mornings, through silence and celebration. Duty is fulfilled not by might nor by power, but by the Spirit that empowers obedience beyond human capacity. Zechariah 4:6. From now on, the chosen one walks with assurance, knowing that goodness and mercy pursue faithfully, not occasionally but all the days appointed. Psalm 23:6. Richness forever is not a distant dream, but a living promise unfolding step by step, breath by breath. As the journey continues, as faith deepens, as duty unfolds into destiny, and as the chosen one rises daily to walk forward, trusting, believing, and standing firm, even when the road narrows, even when the night lingers, even when the promise seems delayed, holding fast to what was spoken, carrying the weight of calling with humility and courage, knowing that what has been entrusted will be fulfilled in its appointed time, and that the path ahead still stretches forward, calling, shaping, revealing, as the journey continues into the unfolding purpose that has not yet fully spoken its final word, and the chosen one remains attentive, listening, walking, and preparing for what is still to come, as the rhythm of faith carries on without pause, without retreat, and without end. The journey does not pause for applause, nor does it slow for doubt, because the calling moves with purpose beyond motion. There is a deep knowing placed within the chosen, a quiet certainty that does not shout yet refuses to be silenced. Even when voices around question the path, the inner witness remains steady, affirming what was spoken in the unseen long before it appeared in the visible. As it is written, the Spirit bears witness with the Spirit, confirming identity beyond human validation. Romans 8:16. This witness becomes the compass when directions seem unclear and the road appears unfamiliar. From now on, duty requires courage that is not reckless but rooted. Courage to stand when standing is costly. Courage to speak when silence feels safer. Courage to remain still when the world demands haste. This courage is born from the assurance that presence goes ahead, never abandoning the path. Deuteronomy 31:8. The chosen one learns that fear may knock, but it does not have authority to enter unless invited. For power, love, and soundness of mind have already been given, replacing timidity with divine confidence. 2 Timothy 1:7. Richness forever unfolds through intimacy rather than performance. It grows in moments unseen by crowds, in quiet obedience, in whispered prayers, in tears offered without audience. Those secret places become wells of strength, where renewal flows daily. It is written that those who dwell in the shelter of the Most High find rest under divine covering, Psalm 91:1. This dwelling is not occasional but continual, shaping perspective and sustaining endurance. There will be times when the chosen feels stretched beyond capacity, when assignments seem heavier than strength allows. Yet even then, grace proves sufficient, and power reveals itself most clearly in weakness. 2 Corinthians 12:9. This paradox becomes a testimony that fulfillment does not depend on perfection but on surrender. From now on, duty is not to impress but to abide, trusting that fruitfulness flows naturally from remaining connected to the source. John 15:4-5. The chosen one also learns discernment of seasons. There are times when silence accomplishes more than speech, when waiting produces more than action. Those who rush ahead risk missing instruction meant to refine timing. Patience becomes an act of faith, trusting that what is promised will not arrive late, nor will it come early, but precisely when it fulfills purpose. Habakkuk 2:3. Richness forever is protected by timing that only wisdom can govern. From now on, duty includes guarding the heart diligently, knowing that from it flow the issues of life. Proverbs 4:23. Disappointment, if left unchecked, can dull vision. Comparison can distort gratitude. The chosen learns to rejoice without envy and to celebrate without resentment, understanding that each assignment is unique and each path intentionally designed. No two journeys mirror one another, yet all are woven into a greater design. There is also the refining fire that tests motives and purifies intention. Fire does not destroy what is genuine, it reveals it. As gold is refined, so is faith, emerging stronger and more radiant after testing. 1 Peter 1:7. The chosen one understands that correction is not rejection and discipline is evidence of love. Hebrews 12:6. Through refinement, character deepens and richness forever takes root beyond surface blessing. From now on, duty involves remembrance. Remembering past deliverance strengthens present faith. Stones of testimony are set within the heart, marking moments when provision arrived unexpectedly, when doors opened against odds, when strength was sustained beyond explanation. Forgetfulness weakens resolve. but remembrance renews trust. As written, remembering the works of the Lord revives hope and anchors expectation. Psalm 77:11. The chosen one walks forward, aware that influence expands quietly before it is noticed publicly. Integrity practiced in private shapes authority exercised in public. From now on, duty is to walk worthy of the calling, not through striving, but through humility, gentleness, patience, and love. Ephesians 4:1-2. These qualities become the fragrance that announces presence before words are spoken. Richness forever also flows through generosity of spirit. Giving does not diminish the chosen, it multiplies impact. What is released with joy returns in ways unseen and unexpected. It is written that those who sow generously reap generously, not under compulsion but with cheerful hearts. 2 Corinthians 9:6-7. This principle governs both material and spiritual realms, shaping a life marked by abundance that outlasts circumstance. There will be moments when progress seems slow, when growth feels hidden beneath the soil, yet roots are forming before fruit appears. The chosen one trusts the process, knowing that what is planted will emerge in season if perseverance remains. Galatians 6:9. Richness forever is cultivated patiently, watered by faith, nurtured by obedience. From now on, duty requires separation without isolation. The chosen walks among many, yet belongs to a higher calling. Values differ, priorities contrast, and choices reflect allegiance beyond the visible world. Yet love remains the defining mark, extended without compromise, truth spoken without cruelty. As it is written, walking as lights in the world requires holding firmly to the word of life. Philippians 2:15-16. The chosen one is also taught resilience. Falling does not disqualify, refusal to rise does. Even the righteous may stumble, yet they rise again, sustained by mercy that never runs dry. Proverbs 2:16. From now on, duty is to rise quickly, learn deeply, and continue faithfully, knowing that restoration is always within reach. Richness forever is strengthened through unity, not competition. The chosen recognizes that purpose flourishes within community, where gifts complement and burdens are shared. As iron sharpens iron, growth accelerates through connection. Proverbs 2:17. Isolation weakens perspective, but unity reinforces strength. From now on, duty includes listening more than speaking, understanding before reacting, and praying before deciding. Wisdom is received by those who ask without doubting. James 1:5-6. This wisdom protects from unnecessary detours and aligns steps with eternal intention. The chosen one learns that rest is not laziness but obedience. Even the land was commanded to rest, reminding humanity that productivity is not sustained by endless labor but by honoring divine rhythms. Exodus 28:10. Rest renews vision and restores strength, preparing the chosen for what lies ahead. There will be seasons of acceleration when momentum increases and doors open rapidly. In these moments, humility guards the heart, remembering that advancement comes not from the east or west, but from divine appointment. Psalm 75:6-7. Richness forever remains secure when gratitude anchors success. From now on, duty involves hope that does not disappoint. Even when circumstances shift, hope remains steadfast, anchored beyond visible outcomes. Romans 5:5. This hope fuels perseverance and guards joy, enabling the chosen to press forward without bitterness. The chosen one also embraces responsibility for words spoken. Life and death rest in the power of the tongue, shaping realities through declaration. Proverbs 18:21. From now on, speech aligns with promise, truth outweighs complaint, and gratitude overcomes murmuring. Richness forever is revealed not only in what is gained, but in what is released. Forgiveness frees the heart from chains unseen. Letting go makes room for renewal. As it is written, forgiving others opens the way for freedom within. Matthew 6:14. The chosen understands that bitterness steals strength, while forgiveness restores peace. From now on, duty continues to unfold layer by layer, season by season, step by step, as faith deepens and vision expands, as lessons accumulate and strength matures, as the path stretches onward without yet revealing its final horizon, and the chosen one continues walking, trusting, listening, sowing, believing, standing firm in the unseen promise, carrying richness that cannot fade, cannot be stolen, cannot be exhausted, moving forward with steady resolve, attentive heart, and unwavering faith as the journey presses on, still unfolding, still speaking, still shaping what has not yet fully emerged, and the rhythm of calling continues uninterrupted, inviting the next step, the next season, the next unfolding of purpose yet to be revealed. The path ahead remains alive with instruction, and every step taken in faith opens understanding that could not be gained by observation alone. The chosen one begins to recognize that obedience itself becomes a language spoken fluently through action rather than explanation. There are lessons that cannot be taught through words, only through walking, through staying, through enduring when retreat appears easier. As it is written, wisdom is justified by her works, Matthew 11:19, and works of faith quietly testify long before recognition arrives. From now on, duty also involves guarding vision. What the eyes dwell upon shapes the direction of the heart. The chosen learns to lift their gaze above temporary distractions, fixing focus on what is unseen yet eternal. 2 Corinthians 4:18. This discipline of sight preserves clarity when surroundings attempt to distort purpose. Richness forever grows when attention is anchored in promise rather than pressure. There is an understanding that growth is rarely linear. Some days bring visible advancement, others feel like repetition. Yet even repetition refines. Each prayer spoken again, each decision reaffirmed, each boundary maintained strengthens spiritual muscle. Perseverance becomes the quiet proof of authenticity. As it is written, endurance completes its work so that nothing essential is lacking. James 1:4. From now on, duty includes resisting the temptation to measure progress by comparison. The chosen one is not assigned to race another's pace or carry another's burden. Each journey unfolds according to wisdom unseen by observers. When comparison fades, contentment grows, and peace becomes steady. Scripture reminds that each will carry their own load, accountable for their own stewardship. Galatians 6:4-5. Richness forever also manifests through teachability. The chosen remains open to correction, receptive to instruction, and willing to adjust when truth reveals misalignment. Pride resists learning, but humility invites growth. As written, those who love discipline love knowledge, and understanding is granted to those who listen. Proverbs 12:1. This posture safeguards longevity in purpose. There are seasons when the chosen must speak boldly, confronting falsehood with truth, and other seasons when silence carries greater authority. Discernment guides both, Even words spoken in truth must be delivered in love to produce life rather than resistance. Ephesians 4:15. From now on, duty is not only what is said, but how and when it is spoken. The chosen one becomes increasingly aware that delay is not denial. Waiting periods often hide preparation beneath stillness. Strength is accumulated quietly, character shaped without announcement. Those who wait upon the Lord renew strength not by inactivity, but by alignment. Isaiah 4:31. Richness forever is safeguarded in seasons where patience outweighs urgency. From now on, duty also requires courage to release what once served a purpose but no longer aligns with the next season. Holding on to the familiar can hinder the unfolding of the new. As written, forgetting what lies behind and pressing forward is essential for advancement. Philippians 3:13-14. Release becomes an act of faith, trusting that what lies ahead exceeds what is left behind. The chosen one learns that correction from those aligned with truth is a gift, not a threat. Wise counsel preserves direction and prevents unnecessary wounds. As Scripture teaches, plans succeed with many advisors, and safety is found in godly counsel. Proverbs 11:14. From now on, duty includes listening with humility rather than defending with pride. Richness forever also expresses itself through consistency. Faithfulness in small, unseen actions builds credibility over time. Great impact is rarely the result of one moment, but of many faithful choices accumulated. As it is written, those who are faithful over time are entrusted with greater responsibility. Matthew 2:5-21. Consistency protects calling from collapse. There will be moments when emotions fluctuate, when joy feels distant and resolve feels tested. In those moments, the chosen leans not on feeling but on truth. Emotions respond to circumstances, but truth remains unchanged. As written, the word stands firm forever. Isaiah 48. From now on, duty is to stand on truth even when feelings protest. The chosen one also recognizes the importance of gratitude as a spiritual discipline. Gratitude shifts focus from lack to provision, from delay to progress. It guards the heart against bitterness and sustains joy through uncertainty. Scripture teaches that thanksgiving aligns the heart with peace that surpasses understanding. Philippians 4:6-7. Richness forever flows where gratitude remains active. From now on, duty includes vigilance against subtle compromise. Not all compromise appears harmful at first glance, yet small deviations can lead far from intended direction. The chosen remains alert, testing every influence and weighing every decision against truth. 1 John 4:1. Integrity becomes the compass that prevents drift. There is also a growing awareness that spiritual authority is exercised through submission, not domination. The chosen one learns to submit to divine order, understanding that authority flows through obedience. As written, resistance to rightful authority invites disorder, while alignment brings peace. Romans 13:1. From now on, duty is to walk under covering, not above instruction. Richness forever deepens as compassion expands. The chosen does not grow hardened by trials, but softened by understanding. Having walked through valleys, empathy becomes genuine, and mercy flows freely. As it is written, mercy triumphs over judgment. James 2:13. Compassion becomes a hallmark of maturity. From now on, duty also includes vigilance over thoughts. Every stronghold begins as a thought left unchecked. The chosen learns to take thoughts captive, aligning them with truth rather than fear or accusation. 2 Corinthians 10:5. Mental discipline protects peace and preserves focus. There will be moments when the chosen must trust guidance without full explanation. Understanding often follows obedience, not the other way around. As written, walking by faith requires movement without full sight. 2 Corinthians 5:7. Richness forever is revealed through trust that moves forward despite incomplete information. The chosen one becomes increasingly aware that legacy is built daily, not at the end. Every decision, every response, every moment of integrity contributes to what will outlast a lifetime. As Scripture teaches, a good name is more valuable than great riches. Proverbs 22:1. From now on, duty is to live mindful of impact beyond the present moment. Richness forever also requires guarding joy. Joy is not dependent on ease, but on assurance. It becomes strength in seasons of pressure. Nehemiah 8:10. The chosen protects joy by anchoring hope beyond circumstance, allowing inner celebration even when external conditions remain unchanged. From now on, duty continues to expand, revealing new dimensions of responsibility as capacity grows. Each season unlocks new understanding, each challenge deepens resilience, each victory humbles the heart further. The journey stretches onward, still unfinished, still calling for faith, still requiring obedience, as the chosen one remains attentive to instruction, faithful in action, steady in hope, walking forward into what has not yet been fully revealed, carrying richness that continues to multiply, unfold, and mature as the rhythm of calling presses on without pause, inviting the next step, the next lesson, the next unveiling of purpose that continues to speak, continues to shape, continues to draw the chosen forward into what lies ahead, still unfolding, still alive, still moving. As this journey of words comes to rest, let the truth remain. Standing within the heart, the calling spoken is not fragile, the duty entrusted is not temporary, and the richness promised is not fading. What has been revealed is a life anchored in faith, shaped by obedience, refined through endurance, and sustained by unwavering trust. The chosen one does not walk alone, nor walk without provision, for every step is known, every season measured, and every outcome secured beyond human limitation. What has been planted will surely bear fruit in its appointed time, for the one who promises is faithful to complete what has been begun. Philippians 1:6. Therefore, stand firm, unshaken by delay, unmoved by opposition, and undistracted by lesser rewards, knowing that labor in this calling is never in vain. 1 Corinthians 15:58. Let faith remain active, hope remain alive, love remain evident, and obedience remain constant as the path continues forward into fullness, into lasting abundance, into richness that does not expire, does not diminish, and does not fail. For those who walk by faith will inherit what was spoken, and what has been entrusted will endure forever. Hebrews 10:23.